All right, so this one we have an inequality with distributed properties, so I need to do the distributed property first. So negative 5 times m is negative 5m, and then negative 5 times positive 1 is a negative 5. All right, and then so you remember, okay, when I have a negative variable, I have to flip the sign. So the sign was facing to the left, I have to flip it because it's a negative. All right, I want to flip the sign. Now it's greater than or equal to, and then we have 23. All right, so to solve this, I want to get rid of the negative 5 by doing the opposite. So I do plus 5, so that's 28. All right, and then I divide by my negative 5 here. All right, which would be, again, we got a negative and a positive, so it's going to be a negative. All right, and we did have to flip it, so that is A for that one. All right, let me erase that. For 32, okay, this is a probability question, so it says ball has a spinner with 4 colors, green, yellow, blue, and orange. Okay, he spins it 60 times and records each color. All right, the results are below. It says Paul will spin an additional 450 times. How many times should he expect the spinner to stop on blue? Okay, so usually I use a proportion for this one because we have blue and we have total spins. So he had 14 out of 60. Right, we want to know how many blues that would be out of 450. So I can put 450 on the bottom here. We want to know how many blues. All right, so I can cross multiply. So 60 times x is 60x. And then I want to do 14 times 150 on the other side. So that's 6,300. And then again, I want to get x by itself. So to get rid of the 60, I want to divide it over to the other side. So that gives me 105. So that would be D. All right, erase that. Let's go to 33. All right, for 33, and again, these ones are pretty difficult. We did a couple of these in class. All right, so it says circle M has a radius of 7. Shortest distance between P and Q on the circle is 7.3. All right, so really what they do is they give me the circumference here. All right, so I'm going to put that on the outside so you know. So what we have to do says what's the approximate area of the shaded portion here. All right, so again, they don't give us a whole lot of information here. They do need the area. All right, and they also gave us this partial circumference. So what we have to do is we have to do a proportion comparing the circumference and the area. All right, because those are kind of the two things. It's the only two things they gave us. All right, so they gave us, for instance, the circumference of the part of the circle, which is 7.3. All right, and we can figure out, for the part, we want to figure out the area. All right, and then we can figure out the circumference of the whole circle and the area of the whole circle. All right, and put that on the other side. All right, because we're going to compare the part to the whole, and that will help us figure out the part of the circle. All right, so for the whole circle circumference, I remember that circumference is 2 pi r for the formula. So I do 2 times pi times r, which they did give us r is 7. So I do 2 times pi times 7, and that should give me 43.96. That is our whole circumference of the whole circle. All right, and then we can also find the area since they give us the radius of the whole circle. So the area of the whole circle, remember that area is pi r squared. So I do pi times 7 squared. All right, and that would be 153.86. So again, I'm comparing the circumference in the area. I'm doing part of the circle compared to the whole, and then we can figure out the part of the area since we already know the full area. All right, so I cross multiply. All right, I'm going to erase some of this so I have some more space. So 43.96 times x is 43.96x. And then on the other side of the equal sign, we'll do this 7.3 times 153.86. All right, that gives me 1,123.178. And then I'm going to divide by 43.96. All right, and that's going to give me 25.55, which we would round that to 25.6, and that would be C. Okay. All right, let me erase that one. All right, for 34, it says Nicole wants to conduct a random survey. We actually talked about surveys yesterday in class. Which survey sample would give the most accurate results? All right, so she wanted to do a survey opinions of students at her middle school. So it says random students as they enter the school, students during math class, random 7th grade students during lunch, and teachers in the 7th grade hall. Well, probably the best fit would be A, just because, again, we want it to be random. And then as people enter the school, it's going to be all different grade levels. All right, if I'm looking at students in math class, okay, that's probably just going to be one grade level, so we're not getting a good variety of students. All right, if we're looking at C, that's only 7th grade students. So again, not a very good variety. And then again, if we're looking at teachers in the 7th grade hallway, that's again 7th grade. It's only one specific grade level. So this is probably the best because it's random. And, as people enter, there's going to be different people from different grades. So A would be the best survey for that. 35, it says teacher divided the class into 2 groups of equal sizes. 3/5 of the first group are right-handed. 80% of the second group are right-handed. Okay, which fraction of the class is, or what fraction of the class is right-handed? All right, so in the first group, all right, we had 3/5. All right. And then in the second group, we had 80%. So I'd probably want to convert that. And if you think about it, I can make it into fifths here. All right, like 80%. You probably either want to convert that to a percent or convert that to a fraction. All right, so 80% is actually, since I want a common denominator here, I can get 80% out of 5 because 4 out of 5 is 80%. All right, so if I add those together, I got my 3 plus 4 makes 7. Okay, so 7 out of 10. All right, so the first group was 3/5, and then we want to add that to my second group. All right, and that was 4 out of 5, and that would give me 7 out of 10 for that one. All right, so this is 36. So it says this graph shows the time and distance traveled for 2 objects. which statement is true. All right, so then we kind of want to look at, I'm looking at the graph, I kind of want to try to figure out where they meet. All right, for both of these, so for object 1, here's one that I can see that it crosses perfectly. All right, also right here is another one, and then right here. So, you're going to do your y divided by your x. So your y divided by x, wherever they meet, they're all going to give you the same. So for object 1, it's 30 over 20. All right, which again, if I cross off zeros, then that's just 3 out of 2. All right. And then for object 2, okay, I want to look at a point where they cross. Right here is one that they cross. All right, also right here. Oops, sorry. Set up a little bit. Right here. All right, but again, now it's 20 divided by 30, so it's almost like they're backwards. This one's 20 divided by 30, so this one is 2/3. So the first object, 3 out of 2. The other one's 2 out of 3. It says, which statement is true? Object 2 travels 6 fifths of a foot per minute more than object 1. Well, this is, well, we want to at least get a common denominator out of here to show how much more they are between the two. So for this one, if I make them out of 6, so times that by 3, times that by 2, okay, that would give me 9 out of 4, which is 5/6. Okay, so object 1 is 5/6 more, so we want to look which one is that. All right, so we know it's not the 6/5, so it's not A, and that one is 6/5 also. All right, so object 2, it's not traveling faster. Object 1 is traveling faster. So then it would be D for that one.